It all started with whispers. At first, it was just rumors from the traders coming in from other towns. They spoke of a strange sickness spreading through the villages, something no one had ever seen before. They called it monkeypox. The disease was said to leave people covered in blisters and rashes, with a pain so intense it was almost unbearable. My name is Inwila, and I live in a small village called Makoko, deep in the heart of the Congo. I would wake up before the sun, work on my field, and then head to the bustling market in Mbandaka to sell my produce. Monkeypox? I remember laughing with my friend Shimanga. He mentioned it to me at the marketplace one day. I replied him, "That's just another one of those stories to scare us. Do you remember the Ebola virus years ago? It's probably nothing, it's the same," so I said, not knowing what would befall me. Shimanga looked uneasy. He looked very worried as he glanced around the marketplace. "Mwila," he said, "this is different, oh. I've seen people who have it. It's real and it's spreading." I waved off his concerns, more focused on selling my yams and my cassava. But in the back of my heart then, his words lingered. Over the next few days, I heard more and more about this illness. It seemed like every conversation in Makoko revolved around monkeypox. Yet I continued with my life, refusing to let the fear take over me and not heeding to the caution of my friend. Luhamba, my wife, was also worried. She pleaded with me to take precautions. She said to me, "Dear husband, maybe we should stay away from the market for a while. We have enough food to last us." I said, "Nonsense," trying to sound reassuring. "We can't stop living because of rumors. If we don't sell, how will we survive?" I said. But deep down within me, I knew she was right to worry. A sense of unease started to settle in my heart, one I tried to push aside each time I ventured into the market, as I said to myself, "Life has to go on, Willa." It wasn't long before the first cases appeared in Makoko. The village elders called for meetings, urging everyone to be very cautious, to avoid contact with others, and also to report any signs of the illness. Despite these warnings, I convinced myself that I was safe. I had always been healthy, a very strong man. Nothing like this could touch me. I said to myself that besides, I know I have God in heaven watching over me. I can't be infected. Then one morning, I noticed a small red spot on my arm. It was just one tiny and almost unnoticeable thing. I brushed it off as a simple rash from walking in the fields. But by the next day, more spots had appeared, spreading across my arm, my chest, and my back. They grew into large, painful blisters that filled with pus. The itching was unbearable, and my skin burned with a fever that left me drenched in sweat. My wife's eyes filled with fear when she saw my condition. Mila, my husband, you need to see a doctor, she urged. I warned you about this, but you men, you don't listen. Her voice so annoying, but I was too weak to argue. My body was on fire, my muscles ached, and the pain from the blisters was excruciating. When we reached the local clinic, the doctor took one look at me and confirmed our worst fears. Ah, you have monkeypox, he said, his voice somber. There is no cure, but we can try to manage your symptoms, he said. I felt like the ground had been ripped out from under me. How could this be happening? How could I, Mila, the strong farmer of Makoko, be reduced to this? My ancestors, this can't be happening. The days that followed were a blur of pain and isolation. The villagers, once my friends, now avoided me as if I were a leper. Even the marketplace, my second home, became a place of rejection. When I could no longer bear the agony and the pain, I collapsed in the middle of the market. My body racked with sobs as I cried out in pain and despair. I can remember my wife running to me, her arms wrapping around my trembling body. We will get through this, Nwila, she whispered in my ears, even though I could hear the fear in her voice. We returned home and the village became eerily quiet. People stayed away, fearful of catching the disease. My wife did her best to care for me, but there was little she could do. The blisters spread to my face, and I could barely recognize myself in the mirror. I was no longer Nwila the farmer, the strong provider. I was a cursed man, my body a twisted reminder of the disease that had taken hold of me. One fateful day, a letter arrived from my cousin, Kinshansha. He had heard about my illness and urged us to come to the city where there was a doctor known for treating rare diseases. Desperate for any hope, we made the long journey to Kinshasa. The doctor in the city examined me with a grim expression. It is indeed monkeypox, he confirmed. We are still learning about this disease. There is no known cure, but I will give you some medicines to help with the symptoms. I left the clinic that day with a heavy heart. The reality of my situation sinking in. There was no cure. The disease was relentless, and all we could do was try to manage the pain. We returned to Makoko, where life had changed drastically. The market was a shadow of its former self, with many stores closed, and the few that remained open, they did so with a sense of caution and fear. Despite everything, my wife Luhamba stood by me, her love and her care unwavering. She dressed my wounds, she fed me, and tried to keep our children's spirit up. I saw the toll it took on her, the way her eyes would fill with tears when she thought I wasn't looking, but she never complained. The village elders, perhaps feeling guilty for their early abandonment, began to reach out. They brought food, offered help, and tried to support us in whatever way they could. I was very grateful, but the pain and the stigma of the disease were ever present. I knew that I would never be the same again. As the months passed, my condition stabilized, but the blisters had left their mark on my body and my spirit. I became a man of shadow, avoiding public eye, afraid of the whispers and the stares. But through it all, my wife remained my anchor, reminding me of the love we once shared and giving me the strength to keep going. One evening, as the sun set behind the thick canopy of Congo rainforest, painting the sky in hues of orange and red, I sat with my wife on our porch. We held our hands, watching our children play in the yard. Their laughter a relief, respite from the heaviness that weighed on my heart. We may never know what tomorrow will bring, my wife said softly. But as long as we have each other, my dear husband, we will face whatever comes our way. I squeezed her hand, feeling a surge of gratitude and love for this woman who had stood by me through the darkest of times. Yes, we will face it together, I whispered, knowing that no matter what, we would find a way to endure. And so we continued to live day by day with the knowledge that the cure for monkeypox was still out of reach, but with the hope that one day the doctors will find a way to save others from the suffering I had endured. Until then, we held each other, finding strength in our love and the small moments of joy that life still offered to us. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please and please take good care of yourself. Monkeypox is out there. Use nose masks, use hand sanitizers, whatever means that you can do, whatsoever you can do to ensure your safety. Your safety is paramount. Thank you so much. Hit the subscribe button and comment your thoughts in the comment section. We also have another story up on the screen here. This girl sleeping with a man, not knowing that that man is her real father. A sugar girl having a sugar daddy, not knowing that the sugar daddy is her real daddy. Watch and comment your thoughts on this other story. God bless you.